Hey, Easter assignments. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm gonna be reviewing two shitty movies from the year 2016 because I want to do a 2016 list week in the middle of this year because why not? So I want to start talking about movies from 2016, and so I'm gonna review some shitty movies. And also, yeah, because I've checked. I've calculated. My average movie review score is actually really high, so I need to start reviewing some shitty movies to balance the positive and the negative. So, let's talk about two shitty movies from 2016. So, I'm going to start off with Assassin's Creed, which is I guess an anticipated movie if you're a huge gamer or something or whatever. So yeah, Assassin's Creed is a movie based off of Assassin's Creed, a very popular and influential game franchise. Now, I'm not a huge video game person, but I've played Assassin's Creed, one of its games, a couple of times, and it's a good game, And this movie ruined it. First of all, video game movies aren't really that good to begin with, and this movie proves that video game movies suck, and usually they are not good at all. So, yeah, basically, Assassin's Creed is about a man who is a murderer and who's about to be sentenced to death, and then all of a sudden he got kidnapped by this woman who works at this company called Abstergo, and Abstergo, kidnaps all of these different people whose ancestors are actually assassins, and because they have this machine called the Animus, they hook these people up to the machines, they can relive their ancestors' memories, and because their ancestors are assassins, and those assassins know where this weird item called Apple of the Eden is. So and Abstergo wanted to get the apple, so they hooked these people up to the machine and tried to locate that item using these people's assassins. So there you go, that's the plot. And first of all, this movie is boring. It's a huge drag. And it's actually kind of impressive that they could make this movie so boring because the video game itself, Assassin's Creed, is actually a pretty exciting and fun game. And it's really fun when you go back to the past, to like 500 years ago, and you become your ancestor and you're fighting and you're running around parkouring as an assassin. Those bits are really fun. The problem is those bits only happen 3 times in the movie. Yes, Cal, who's the main character, only went into his ancestor assassin's memories 3 times in the movie. And every time it feels so brief, it feels so demo-y, it feels so hollow and insignificant. It feels like a blob, and most of the time the movie basically takes place in real life where the characters keep on explaining what's happening and yada yada, and it's really boring. Wow. And every time we have an action sequence, it's 50% or maybe even more, maybe 60, maybe 70, I don't know, but around 60% of the action sequences are also a blob of CGI that's really fake. And the editing is so messy. And because when the characters are hooked up to the machine, especially Cal, when Cal is being hooked up to the machines, we constantly jump from what is happening in real life when he's hooked with the machine versus what's happening in his ancestors' memories. And the editing is so messy. It's so jarring. It's constantly flickering from real life and back then and real life and back then, and it's just I just can't keep track of what's going on. Plus, the cinematography here is just so lazy and messy. The cinematography here looks like it's pulled straight out of a video game playbook, and if you put that onto a silver screen, it will look weird. It will look out of place and unnatural, and that's exactly what happens here. And yeah, Michael Fassbender, who plays Cal, is extremely talented. Marion Cotillard is also an extremely talented actress. If you have seen her in the movie La Vie en Rose, definitely check out La Vie en Rose, whatever. And then we also have Jeremy Irons here, who's also a talented actor. But all these actors, they are all wasted in this movie with this really shitty screenplay. And it's just such a sad thing that they would ruin a very good video game with such an interesting lore and turn it into this boring blob of mess. And yeah, it feels like a contract thing. Like for Michael, I feel like Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard didn't even like want to be in this movie, but they did it anyway because it's like in their contract or whatever. So yeah, this movie's a 3 out of 10. And also, I want to take my time to also talk about another really crappy movie of 2016, and that movie is When the Bough Breaks. Yeah, I've been thinking about what movie should I review other than Assassin's Creed. The Darkness is pretty shitty. Shut In is pretty bad as well, and The Disappointments Room is really disappointing. But you know what? I'm gonna talk about When the Bough Breaks. I watched it. Well, I skipped some parts, but I still watched it nonetheless. Yeah, it's you know, you've heard this plot a million times already, but basically, there's this guy who's played by, I think, Morris Chestnut is his name, and he's a pretty good actor, but completely wasted in a crappy screenplay. So there's this couple who wants to have kids, but they can't, so they sign up for this surrogacy program thing where the husband and another wife, another woman, stuffs, and so that they can have the kids and all that. And then, plot twist, the woman who's fertile and who's trying to help the husband to have baby is actually crazy. He's actually psychotic and he wants to kill people and he's jealous of the wife here. So there you go. That's the plot. That plot had been recycled for at least a million times now, and not only is this movie really boring, the plot literally goes nowhere. It's supposed to be a thriller movie. It's supposed to have suspense in it, but this movie completely lacks suspense. And what's left is this really boring character interaction piece where the characters themselves aren't really interesting at all. And yeah, there are so many abrupt character moments in here. Like at first, the chick who's the surrogate mom, the chick was really nice and really sweet at first, and then all of a sudden she turns psycho, and there isn't any build up to it. It's all a mess, and the climax of the thing, the third act, it's so over the top, yet so dumb. Like the male character of the thing, he took such a long time to figure out that, oh, maybe the surrogate chick, maybe she's psychotic. Oh wait, she is. The screenplay is trash. The dialogues are really amateurishly written. Everything else about the movie, the editing, the cinematography, they're all really amateur. And the movie overall, it's supposed to be a thriller. It's supposed to be a drama. But no, it completely lacks scares. It's not scary. It's not intense. It's not suspenseful. It goes nowhere. And what's even more disgusting about this movie is that it's like the fourth movie that the producers of the movie had made that has the same plot. They have been recycling the same plot over and over and over again. First with Idris Elba and Beyonce, second time with Idris Elba again, third time with Morris Chestnut, and the fourth time with Morris Chestnut again. And it's just this really crappy, cheap formula to make a movie they might as well replace the writers and the producers and the directors of the movie with machines and robots, because it doesn't even matter. So yeah, I'm also giving this movie a 2 to a 3. Like, so yeah, what are your thoughts on these two movies, Assassin's Creed and When the Bough Breaks? From 1 to 10, how much do you rate them? Like if you like them, hate if you hate them, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. Now I need to go back to my Easter homework.